What happens when you take a Donna Jordan pattern and you mix it with fabric from Stephanie Brandenburg? Let's find out. At the beginning of this video, I had some issues with my sound, so you will notice that my mouth moving doesn't match with what I'm saying, but I did kind of voice over it so that it made sense. Enjoy! Happy Quiltmas!
Quiltmiss, I wanted to do something special, so I have been holding on to this panel since I met Stephanie Brandenburg and bought it from her shop. It is the perfect panel to use this Donna Jordan disappearing panel wall hanging. Only I'm going to make a quilt. And here is the pattern. So my dilemma, of course, is what is the perfect fabric to put in between the strips? I bought some coordinating fabric, so we're going to have to decide which of the fabric we want to put in between the pieces of the panel. I'm thinking the green, but we'll need to try out both. And in addition to that, I got this wood grain. So cool. And I'm going to incorporate that somehow. So we need a panel that's 24 by 43. This might not be quite 24 inches. I need to measure it. But if it's not, that's okay. Let me get my ruler. Yeah. It is just shy of 24 inches. And the length, we're good on that. If my math is correct, which, you know, it may not be. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut the panel to 22 inches. Perfect. Making sure the center of the design before cutting. So I've got my dashed lines on here on either side, so I know that's the original size of the panel. So I will fold it over, and you will see me do that on my clean cutting table. So it was perfect that I got that table cleaned off because I need that to work on this quilt. All right, and then center strip, do not cut any off. So that's where it's going to be the 39 inches. And then we've got, let's see, 7 strips. Oh, it says 32 inches long. I don't know where I got 39. 39 is the total length of the wall hanging when you're done. That's where I got 39. Let's stop talking about it and let's make it. So here is my panel. First, let's fold it in half and mark the halfway point. And as typical for panels, it's not gonna just, it's not bad. It's not too bad. Panels seem to get askew more easily. There we go. Okay. So that will be our halfway point. 7. Hope I'm reading this pattern right. If I'm not, it's too late. Let's see how our centerpiece looks. Ah, there, I was like, oh no! Okay, so we've got the big flower at the top, which is fine. Okay, so now we need to cut each side. All right, now I want to look through the camera. The green pops, the red does not. Okay, I'm gonna have to do too green to get a real idea. Now I need to see the red. Now I'm going to put the pictures up side by side so that you can see what our two options are. You can decide if I made the right choice. Okay, I thought it was going to be easy. This is a hard choice. I still think it's the green. But you let me know in the comments if you liked the green or the red better. Let's move the 7 so I don't accidentally cut it. Now, what did it want me to do? It wanted me to cut 3.5 from each side. Okay, this is from the inside. 3.5. So 3.5. Now, what am I supposed to do? The next is 2.5 and 1.5. All right. So now I'm going to have to cut off at the ends. Let's do 2.5 on this, and we'll be done with this cutting. That's all I'm doing. I'm pretty sure this is also 2.5, but I'm good with that. Sure, before I do this, 4 inches. Okay. Oh, yes. 6 inches. Oh. Ah. Okay. Okay. Okay, whew. There we go, much better. Okay, so now we've got the 7 inches for the top and bottom of the center, 7 inch by 4 inches. Okay, it goes on the bottom. All right, these pieces go 7 inch. From the scrap, cut 4 6 by 3.5. Okay, 6 1 inch to go between all the panel strips. 2 2.5 to go along the outside. And then I'm going to hold off on the 2.5 inch strips and just see where we are as far as on the outside. Use the directions below. Stitch your backgrounds onto your panel strips. Press all seams towards the background. Each strip will now measure 39 inches. Stitch a 1 inch by 39 inch strip between each of the panel strips. Press all seams towards the background. Stitch 2. Okay, so from what I'm reading, I need to put the pieces on the ends first, because then they should all be whatever length I've got. I don't know. So I'm gonna sew. Let's get going. am making progress. So I've added the green to the ends of my panel strips. I'm having to do some fudging, but I'm going to enjoy it because I decided wherever there was a difference, I am going to add my red fabric. So for the majority of the panel, you're going to have the green in between. But up here, I have little pieces of red, and those will all start at the same place. So I'll just sew all these together like that. But before I do that, wherever I'm lacking, wherever there's a difference between the main piece of the panel and the other strips, I'm going to add the red fabric. And then it's going to kind of look like it's green, and then as you go out, the red falls in. I think it's going to look pretty cool. Okay, I'm sure I hung it up on the wall a little crooked. When you are deciding how much extra you need to put on the bottom, measure, learn from my mistakes. Anyway, so I am going to even this up with the shortest row. I don't know how it can be on my design wall and all be the same, but not end up the same, but doesn't matter. So now, once I trim that up, I'm going to add the red border around the outside. And then I will add my wood grain border. The way that I like to do my borders is, so for here I know that one strip is not going to cover this side. I like to do the sides first, and then I like to do the top and the bottom. I'm going to sew 2 strips. So here I've got this big long strip. And what I need to do is I want to measure my length. And then I can cut this strip, add this strip to this strip, and do the same thing. I'm making progress. So here is the center. It is all sewn together. I'm not really pleased with the way the red coming in turned out. It wasn't exactly how I envisioned it, but I think it can grow on me. And then I have cut the wood grain borders to go all the way around. Then we'll be ready to quilt it. So let me add these borders. Let me hold this up. So how cute is that? Let's try this again. I don't know if my sweater went over the top of my microphone. So how pretty. It's really not cute, it's more pretty. Now, the reason that I am making this quilt is for Quiltmas of 2025. You have watched the 9 days of Christmas, 10. I'm number 11. So we are on the 11th day of Quiltmas, and tomorrow, Tom, the colorblind quilter, will be sharing his project for Quiltmas. So make sure that you look for the links in the description below. If you haven't caught anybody that went before me in the previous 10 days, go ahead and check them out. And after Tom does his video for Quiltmas, then we will be adding links into our descriptions so that you can enter to win this, along with all the other quilted items that the participants in Quiltmas have made. Okay, it is time to get this baby on the long arm. Here we are at my Grace machine. I have dusted and oiled her, and I have also picked out a backing. And here is the big reveal. Make sure I have it facing the right way. I think this is right. I am very pleased with how it turned out. What do you think? Are you looking forward to having an opportunity to win it? And let's look at the back. So there's that silver thread. It shows up really well. I cannot wait to find out who I'm going to send this to. Have a great day, eat some chocolate, and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye.